In this video, we're going to talk about a whole nother reason why you should love Florida. This is our weekend getaway to the Florida Keys. Hey everybody, it's Craig Cunha. I'm a real estate agent here in Southwest Florida. And if you're looking to learn everything you can about what it's like to live, play, eat, sleep, and buy real estate on the Gulf Coast, then this is the channel for you. So go ahead and subscribe and even like and comment so that you're sure to see all the videos when they come out in the future. I'm getting calls from people every day asking about what it's like to move here and what are they going to need to do to prepare themselves. So if you've got a question, you've got to call, text, or email because I've got your back when moving to the Gulf Coast. All right, so I promised you in this video, we're going to talk about a little jaunt down to the Florida Keys. We did it this past weekend. It was a Friday down and a Sunday back, so quick trip on motorcycles. So we did it a little bit differently, but it doesn't matter how you go. This time of year, December, is absolutely phenomenal weather-wise. Now, you know, you've already heard about Florida being great weather most of the time. Yes, it's extremely hot in the summer, but December is when we start to get our cool down. Our humidity goes away. In fact, on this trip, we were bundled up. The masks that we were wearing on our ride were not because of COVID. It was because it was cold. We hit a little bit of rain, some rain bands. It seems like anytime you go through the Keys, you get bands of rain. But all in all, we'll take that any day compared to the scorching sun. If you didn't know it before, the Keys is basically for boating, beaches, and bars. So if you're looking for that kind of entertainment, then the Keys is where you want to go. We had a blast, and it's something I highly recommend if that's your thing. Keep in mind, being in Florida, that's what people come for. So you will see some crowds depending on when you go. And like every place else we've discussed so far, if you just exercise a little bit of patience and understanding, even when it's busy, you're still going to have a great time. So as far as the proximity, Key West is south of us, obviously, and you've got a multitude of ways to get there. Many people like to go the Key West Cat. It's about a 3 to 3.5 hour ride down there. You pick up the Key West Cat, and that's catamaran. You pick it up over by Fort Myers Beach, and you will head straight down to the Keys. Like I said, it goes down in the morning. It leaves port, I believe, 8 a.m., and you'll get down there 3 hours later. It will leave to come back at 5 p.m. So if you're only going down for a day trip, don't miss the boat. Otherwise, you need to find a hotel. Many people will take their boats to get down there, but I would caution you to have a pretty sizable boat because you're going to be in open water to get there. You know better than I how well your boat handles, but just keep in mind it is open water and conditions can change quickly. Next would be a car, truck, or otherwise to get there. Yes, it's a 5 to 6 hour trip depending on how fast you drive and how many chances you want to take. We'll discuss those chances as we get through the video. But bear in mind, police are everywhere. And lastly, we chose motorcycles because of the fact we love to ride. And yes, it takes a little bit longer because you have to stop at least once or twice for gas. The tanks are a little bit smaller, but the ride's amazing if the weather's good, and it flows relatively easily. Key West, for the most part, is a 2-lane highway. So you have 1 lane down, 1 lane back. Yes, can get hairy. Yes, you have to watch yourself because when traffic stops, it stops quick. But I did find for a good part of the trip that things flowed. There's some lights in some of the Keys as you go down, and it seemed to flow through those because they kept them flashing if there wasn't an active time of day. So we didn't really have any holdups or any stops. You will have a smooth trip through. It will open up to a 4-lane highway in a couple sections. So if you're behind some slow traffic, take advantage in those areas instead of trying to pass. But all in all, traveling down is going to take you 5 to 6 hours, so be patient and just know that going in. Now, one of the things that people go specifically down to the Keys to get to Key West because they want to experience everything that they hear about Key West. They want to take in all the culture and the atmosphere down there. But keep in mind, if you go directly down by the Key West Cat, if you want to go visit any of the other Keys like Marathon, Islamorada, Key Largo, you're going to have to rent a vehicle to drive back north again. It's slow going. I know that we went down to Key West the first day and then came back to Islamorada the second day. It was about an hour and a half trip back out again. So keep in mind, if you wanted to explore some of the different keys, you may be better off just driving down in the first place than stopping along the way. Now, once you get into Key West, this is where all the fun is. First off, park your vehicle, don't move it, don't take it downtown to try to get to the bars and restaurants. There's really no parking. So get a moped, get a bicycle, use an Uber, call the pedicab. That's the guys that bicycle you around like a taxi. They've also have shuttles if you are staying at a hotel. Many of them offer a courtesy shuttle to get downtown. They'll have specific drop-off places and times, so pay attention to that schedule if you want to get back to the hotel again. Now, I will say, I'm going to speak real briefly about the time that we went. We're still in this COVID thing. Yes, it's December 2020. The mask thing, there is a mandate in place. They're following the Miami-Dade code that you're supposed to have a mask on. There could be a $500 fine if they want to enforce it. Police officers never really said anything. It was random whether people were wearing it or not. It was addressed in one or two places where they had live entertainment, because here's the unfortunate thing. I know that many of us don't want to wear the masks, and I know that in many cases we're socially distanced already from people in many areas, but here's what you may not understand about the restaurants, especially in places where they are very strict. If somebody notices you in the restaurant or the place that you're in and you are not wearing a mask and it is mandated to have it on, they can shut the business down. So whether you feel like wearing a mask or not, when you get up to use the restroom or whatever other facility, you could literally shut that business down by not using your mask. So as a courtesy to the people that are working there, they're working hard for their money, they're trying to entertain you while you're visiting. Put your mask on, let them keep their jobs, and let things stay open so that you can keep coming to a place like Key West. I briefly mentioned the drive getting down there. It is 2-lane highways. We'll go into 4 lanes. Average speed 35 to 55 miles an hour. Police are scattered everywhere. It's random what day you see them. Some of the cars are left empty, like I think we addressed that in another video. Yes, they'll put a car just to slow you down. Nobody's in the car, but their presence is always felt. You kind of see them everywhere, especially if you're going across 41 through the Miccosukee area. There were a couple patrol cars coming back that were active, so just pay attention. Follow the speed limits that are posted and you should be fine. The views that you're going to see throughout Key West and all the keys on the way down are amazing. The watercolors, it's all the Caribbean blues and greens, just absolutely stunning. So that is my highlight. When I go down to Key West, that's why I like to go. And that's why riding is even better. You take those views in and it is spectacular. Now, when you jump into Key West, a couple things. There's live music in almost every place you go. It's kind of like Nashville. So if you walk by an establishment, you will hear a live musician or a live band at almost any time that you're going through there. Now, we did go on the weekend, so to be fair, weekend was completely stacked with music everywhere. Weekdays, can't really speak to that. I'm sure there's still some establishments that have it, but we were fortunate to go on a weekend and it was everywhere. As far as the entertainment, it does range from one-man bands, two-man bands to a full setup. You see over at Dirty Harry's, they had a 4-man band there. They were absolutely awesome. It's the Dirtbags. If you've never heard them, listen for them. Very, very good band. Play a huge array of music, and they keep the night very energized. And it's a place that once you step in there, you're probably not going to leave until it's time to go home. Now, you're going to have a lot of options with food down in the Keys as well. Obviously, seafood, it's surrounded by water, so there's going to be a lot of those options. Pricing is variable, but it really is no more expensive than any other waterfront place you find around the state. If you take the cost of what any kind of beach stay is, that's kind of what the Keys offers too. So just be prepared. You're going to have a slight upcharge for having the ambiance. Now, when we made our trip back out, we stopped at Islamorada. We stopped at the Postcard Inn. They have another location up in St. Pete Beach, but this was like the sister hotel, and we found out a couple things were absolutely amazing. First off, you see the amenities of this place. They have the pool. They have a trampoline and slide in the water. You get kayaks to rent and paddle boards for free. You have games that are littered throughout the beach areas. They have private little tikis that are set up that you can also reserve. There's 4 restaurants just on site. So whether you want to go to the Raw Bar, or if you want to go to the Tiki Bar, you want to go to the Italian place, there's just so many options right there. And then on top of all this, they have 3 other hotels in their system that are reciprocal amenities. So you can stop at 4 different locations with all kinds of different entertainment and take it in under that same rate that you paid at your hotel. Now, the Postcard Inn was family and pet friendly, so you can take every member of the family with you. And the service at this place was actually pretty spectacular. Now, it was on site here when we went to the Raw Bar that we found this black and blue burger with this applewood smoked bacon, and they laid on the blue cheese pretty good. So it was very, very, very good burger. Then these lobster tacos. Oh my gosh, the size of the pieces of lobster. It was absolutely amazing. It was done to perfection. It was just absolutely terrific, and they were very generous with it. So if you're looking for something in the seafood arena, you've got to stop at this Raw Bar at the Postcard Inn and have these lobster tacos. They were fantastic. Now, one of our stops, this was something I knew I wanted to do. There's a place called Robbie's. It sits right on the water. It's got all kinds of entertainment there. You can parasail out of there. They have kayaks and paddle boards. You can charter boats out of there. You can eat there. They've got gift shops there. They had a car show there too. But the thing I went there for was tarpon feeding. Yeah, I've never heard of it before. I've never done it before. I know tarpon are absolutely huge, and I just thought it would be really cool to either check it out or try it. So, yes, I laid down on the dock. Yes, I stuck my hand down towards the water. But to be honest with you, when I saw that big fish coming, as soon as he touched that fish, I was out of there. So it was an experience. I did toss in a few others to this huge group of tarpon swimming around, but these things are absolutely massive. So if you ever get a chance to get down to Islamorada, stop at Robbie's, feed a couple tarpon, check it out for yourself. And in case you didn't know, right up by where we are in Southwest Florida, you can go to the Boca Grande Pass, and the season, I believe, is somewhere around April and May, but this is where they have the largest run of tarpon. And if you want to catch one of those big suckers, you go up there at that time of year, the Boca Grande Pass right outside of Charlotte Harbor, and you will see plenty of these things there. Now, another thing about Robbie's, again, we are riding motorcycles, so one of the things that we noted, the parking lot is mostly dirt and gravel. And again, with a little bit of rain, it had things a bit muddy. There's very little pavement for us to park on. So keep in mind, if you're riding, you have to plan ahead of what you're going to do if you don't find that pavement. If you have a nice car, think in advance about where you want to park it. There is a little side street parking as you're rolling in that you might have to be a little bit on the grass, but it'll keep your car out of the mud and dirt if it happened to have rained. All right, so that was a little bit about our trip to the Keys. It was very brief. We wish we could have spent more time. We even said, hey, you know what, we have to add a couple days when we're going to do this next time, and we will be doing it soon. It is a very nice trip. It's very close by. And if there's something else that you want to know about living in Florida, specifically Southwest Florida, go ahead and check out one of these other 2 videos. And if there's anything that I can answer for you, you've got to call, text, or email, because I've got your back when moving to the Gulf Coast.